Happy New Year, everybody! It's the first day of 2022 and I want to start the year off with something that was requested not that long ago. I've had quite a few people request that I make top 10 videos for this theme or that theme, and I normally just say no because I rarely ever do that. But not that long ago on a stream, someone said, hey, reviews to go, could you do like a top 10 games for 2021 at the end of the year? I initially said no right then and there, but then I thought about it and, well, last year I made a really big Christmas video project and that did not repeat this year. So I figured, hey, why not? Taking a look back, I published 76 reviews in the year of 2021, and this list is not going to include games that originally released before 2021, and will also not include hardware reviews like the Switch OLED, GPD Win 3, or the Win Max Ryzen. So, judging by scores and a little bit later, as I will explain when we get there, here are my top 10 reviewed Nintendo Switch games of 2021. Starting things off is the House of Fata Morgana Dreams of the Revenants edition, and there's a reason I gave this game a 9.5 out of 10. It is a massive collection of visual novel stories. Its main game is a bunch of different compilations in and of itself, and combined with the prequel and sequel, we are looking at over 90 to 100 hours of content in one package. It's got great storytelling, a really unique gothic theme, very nice art style that I really haven't seen much of anywhere else, and it's a visual novel that remains great and doesn't rely on sexual fan service to gain attention. It is one of my favorite games of all time and a story that has made me sob and weep time and time again. In fun fact, it actually stayed at 100% on Metacritic for months after its Switch release. Coming in at number 2 is another visual novel, Doki Doki Literature Club. This was a game very overhyped by fans on PC, but there actually is a good story behind it. It's a VN that starts off as a simple dating sim with a quirky poetry game, but soon delves right into creepypasta and horror that screws around with not only the characters, but the player, modifying different files and doing a bunch of fourth wall breaks, all the way to a very shocking call out to the player themselves. I had so much fun when I played this game on the Switch, and I have replayed it many times since. Coming in for number 3 is Quake, which I scored a 9 out of 10. It's a piece of first-person shooter history, a Lovecraftian FPS before the Quake series went the generic Alien route. It was really unique, and the remaster has new content, gyro aiming on the Switch, and multiplayer deathmatch that you can do online, something that Bethesda didn't include in the Doom Classic remasters. Now we're at number 4, one of my favorites on the list, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. CyberConnect 2 does wonders every time they touch an anime IP, and all of their recreated visuals, from the stuff in the main story to the absolutely gorgeous finisher moves in the DLC, is just beautifully done. This is also the first play through the story of Dragon Ball Z game in many years. Xenoverse 2, Fighters, Heroes, and a bunch of other ones delved away from that and instead went into side story and what if stuff. The game was also a lot of fun with the huge sandboxes and a combat style that was reminiscent of Xenoverse but a lot faster and more polished and just felt better. Next, we get to a more controversial pick that is really here because of my personal bias. Knockout Home Fitness. This is a game that's really big for me because it has pushed me over the past 80, 90, 100 days to work really hard on daily workouts. Now the game itself has great voice acting compared to the fitness boxing games, significantly better motion detection from that same series. I thought Fitness Boxing 2 gave me a good workout before, but now Fitness Boxing 2 is literally just my, hey, do this to wake yourself up in the morning, and at night go into Knockout Home Fitness for an actual workout. While it doesn't have any of the really nice customization or achievement options Fitness Boxing has, it makes up for it in just how hard it pushes you. Coming in at number 6 is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. This game I felt had great storytelling, the swordplay was a ton of fun when you get into duels with Astolfos or other enemies, and it was just a really colorful, huge adventure. The controls might be a little awkward, but I found it very unique compared to pretty much all of the other Zelda games I've played over the years. Plus, seeing the origin of the Triforce, the hero, and the princess was really nice to see. Now at number 7, we've got another personal bias that I put in here mostly for the fun factor: Off the Road Unleashed. This game took the hyper-realism of the MudRunner and SnowRunner games and gave it a more arcadey style. You have Mario coins all around, a bunch of different vehicles that are definitely not trucks and should not be able to haul the things they do, and it's just a lot of dumb fun flying around in those helicopters. It's also a fantastic example of a mobile port done right, where they made huge changes to the currency, took out all of the microtransactions, and gave you a bunch of fun loopholes for getting around locked doors as long as you had a helicopter. And speaking of the runner games, I can't make this list without talking about SnowRunner. Maybe it's personal bias, but I have spent so many hours in this game on both the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. It took what MudRunner did and escalated it up on so many levels with the hyper-realistic physics, a ton of vehicles, and the environment variety with the inclusion of the snow maps. And it has a massive amount of content built in that just keeps getting bigger constantly, with all of the DLC vehicles and maps being added every few weeks or months. It may be a little intimidating even for someone like me, but it's a ton of fun to get into, especially if you've got some friends to do co-op with. Coming in at number 9 is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe I'm just fanboying out here, but I absolutely love the KOTOR series. There's a ton of customization. It's really unique with the morality system and being able to go to the dark or light side for different powers and story progression. And to be honest, just making and dual wielding lightsabers in the middle of everywhere you go is just a really nice feeling. It's also one of those things in the middle of an extremely divided fan base between all of the stuff going on with the movies and shows that said divided fan base all pretty much collectively love. And our final entry in this list, number 10, is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This is a unique blend of 3D and 2D with a very charming world and music with 3D World, but the real standout is Bowser's Fury, basically Super Mario Odyssey 2.0. It's a proof of concept for a truly open world Mario game, and there's just so much fun to be had that harkens back to the old Collectathon games, and there's a lot of hype for me with those gigantic Cat Mario Bowser kaiju fights. And that's our top 10, though there were some runner-ups that I did enjoy a little bit more than some of these other ones. They just got scored a little bit lower because of this technical thing or that. The 4 runner-ups I had that I really enjoyed were the Corpse Party remake, LEGO Marvel Super Heroes, the Pokemon Gen 4 remakes, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. But nothing in this whole video is bad. There were a lot of great games out in 2021, and I hope you enjoyed this list. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will be back soon with another review.